Yo, today I unified Italy in only 1 year, and it's so consistent that I've done it 3 times and succeeded every time. So how is it possible to unify Italy this early? The previous record was mid-1838, and that required playing on a super old version. Well, 1.9 removed the nationalism requirement to form Italy, meaning that all we need is 12 states now. Austria controls 4, meaning that there's 13 states to choose between. So in my initial runs, I ignored the Emilia state because it's not necessary, but in this run, I'm going to be grabbing up the Emilia state as well, so that we unify the entirety of non-Austrian Italy. So here we go with the run. We're going to start out by declaring war on Lucca, because we need to call Austria in, or else they're going to be joining against us in all future wars. Then I'm going to enlistment efforts all of our states, and then maximum conscript up line infantry, because we need to become a major power, and this is going to help give us a ton of prestige from army power projection. As our army comes up, this should easily be able to get us to a major power status, along with going very high mill wages. We don't need to research a tech to complete this run, so I'm just going to right click that pop-up away. And yeah, we're just going to unpause. As soon as we hit 20 escalation, we can call in Austria, so that's just going to be a second of waiting. And then as soon as we've done that, we have some other things we need to do. Okay, we call in Austria. Now we're going to try to give the British a ton of leverage over us because we want to leave the Austrian power block, and that's going to require a lot of leverage. Oh, first we want to guarantee independence in the tree before we add the alliance. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. That's going to give Great Britain a ton of leverage over us. We can take a look. Now Great Britain easily has #1 leverage, and that's going to happen fairly quickly. Then I'm going to expel the Austrian diplomats because we want to get that reduction in leverage. They will not leave this war with us regardless of that. In fact, for some reason now they want to join us more seemingly. I guess that's just due to the neutrality going away. Anyway, we're just going to wait for this war to finish escalating now. Oh, also I'm going to start promoting some of my generals here because we do want to have the org go up, because low org is going to make the battles quite a bit harder. And I'm also going to maximally subvent the import of small arms, because if we have a small arm shortage, that would be bad for our organization as well. Okay, this war with Lucca has started. Now it's time for our next war, which is going to be make protectorate on papal states. Okay, looks like France is likely to join, but in my experience, they do not join, so we can simply ignore that. I will add humiliation just on the off chance that they back down. Yeah, we can see actually in the play that France is significantly less likely to join. All these Austrian join likelihoods are of course lies, so we can just ignore that part. We didn't get papal states backing down, but that's not too bad. Now, next we are going to be declaring on Sardinia Piedmont. It claims Austria is going to join, but obviously they cannot, so that doesn't really matter. I'm also going to declare an interest in Occitania, because we do need to take Savoy from Sardinia Piedmont as well. Okay, now this war is almost fully escalated. We want to add in Savoy and Sardinia as additional war goals. Could theoretically add Piedmontine Provence as well, potentially. But if we did that, I don't think we'd have the infamy to take Modena, Tuscany, and Parma as well. So we're going to not do that. Oh, we have been revoked as a member of the Metternich system. Okay. But they still had 69 leverage on us. Well, that's incredibly lucky. Otherwise, we would have had to wait a little bit after in order to get their leverage down to below 30. But it was about to happen in a little bit. Unfortunately, we were a little bit late. Usually, by the time this war is done, you should have under 30 leverage in my experience. But we didn't have that in this case. But we got very lucky, and Austria just kicks us out of the block. Okay, that's actually the first time I've had that happen in any of my test games. Anyway, I will just declare a war to Protectorate Tuscany next, and we will also add in humiliation to make them more likely to back down. Do we have the infamy remaining for Modena and Parma? Oh, we barely don't have the infamy remaining. Uh-oh. Hopefully we can decay enough infamy to make that not too big of a problem. Anyway, I'm going to start a invasion into Piedmont and a naval invasion into Sardinia. I don't actually know how we have mill access through Austria right now. Does them being in the war with Lucca give us the mill access? I'm not sure. But anyway, we will be getting into Piedmont and Sardinia pretty easily here, I think. Yeah, oh, wow, we're actually still running a small arm shortage. Is there any way... Oh, our treaty with the British got cancelled. Is there any way we could get someone to give us small arms? A goods transfer from Austria, or France. We can seemingly get quite a few small arms from Austria, or from France. I keep saying the name wrong. So that should help out with our shortage just a little bit, because we do need to try to get this shortage solved. Wait, what? I did this on the wrong side? Oh, oops. No, that's not what I meant to do. Goods transfer. Small arms, please. Please give me your small arms. Okay, they really don't want to give us that many small arms, but we can at least get a few, and military assistance, which is something. Yeah, okay, that puts away our shortage, which is good. Okay, well, Tuscany's done escalating. Next, we will go for Modena. We need to make sure to not end the war with Lucca until we are done declaring all of these wars and escalating them, or else Austria would very likely join some of these wars. Okay, war with Modena just finished escalating. Now we can declare make protectorate on Parma. We're barely at 99 infamy, but we are under the threshold for 100 infamy, so we are going to get this done and unify entire Italy by like mid 1837, or I guess late 1837, but that's still within what I would call 1 year of game start, which is pretty good. Okay, the war with Sardinia Piedmont just ended. Now I'm going to split this up into 4 equal armies. Or actually, I think we maybe need like 3 equal armies. And it's just going to be time to start invading like everything. One goes there, one goes there, and I guess one invades Tuscany. Okay, that should be pretty good. We should finish off all these wars before the final war against Parma starts. I guess we're going to need to land invade, or we're going to need to naval invade. I guess we'll just invade through Tuscany once we get them. Or no, wait, we can just land invade through Modena right now and get Lucca dealt with. Okay, we need to do this real quick. Yeah, we gotta get Lucca in time here. Like we can finish in October, hopefully here. Yep, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be finishing in October. Okay, come on. Yes, Lucca's dealt with. Modena. Come on. Yep. Okay, now everything is protectorated. And we don't have Sardinia Piedmont. Well, this is Piedmontine Provence. But we have every single core Italian state other than the ones owned by Austria. So I'd say that's pretty good. We're going to need to do some shenanigans in order to actually finish this up, though, because we need to make them puppets in order to form Italy. So for that, simply release Savoy as a subject. And then we're going to grant them as many states as we can. Piedmont, Sardinia, and I guess Sicilia and Emilia. Then we're going to draft a treaty with them where we give them Sicily and Calabria. If they don't want to take these, that's because you have your AI set to lenient. And then, in game rules, I mean. I've had this reported to me so many times that people can't do this, and that's always the reason. And then we're going to go ahead and add in Abruzzo and Apulia in the next state transfer. The reason that they only want these now is because they only started bordering them now. I don't know why the game is so laggy. Give me a second. Okay, lag seems to be going away. Now Savoy owns all that territory. So we're going to go to the Papal States, and I'm going to grant them as much of this territory as possible. And this should easily reduce them to being a puppet. And then we will do everyone else as well. It shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, there we go. There's Papal States reduced. Then we can go for Tuscany. Yeah, just going to grant everything to Tuscany real quick. And this should be pretty simple. We get all these guys reduced to puppet, and we'll be unifying Italy in October of 1837, which is pretty solid. Yep, there's puppet. Then Modena. Hopefully we can do this. We might actually be missing one that we can reduce autonomy on, because each one gets 10 Liberty Desire harder. That would be quite unfortunate if we can't get it, but I'm pretty sure we will be able to get it. We just need to hope that we don't have to give these guys Tuscan Emilia, so that we can give that to the next one, and that should be a big Liberty Desire increase. The reason we can't give it if they give these guys, because that would unify the split state, which would be quite bad. Okay, there we go. There's Modena, and that should mean we can get Parma with Tuscan Emilia. Okay, yep. We should easily get this. Okay, very nice. And with that, we'll have unified all of Italy except for Austrian Italy by October of 1837. It's just a matter of clicking this a bit more. Okay, just the very end here. One final grant state, and they're puppeted. Okay, and now we can form Italy, and with October 25, 1837, we are now Italy. Very nice to see. So now some closing thoughts, starting with, is this actually the best way to play Italy? I think that it might be the best way to play 2 Sicilies, but I think it's probably worse than starting as Sardinia Piedmont and doing it the slow way, because the extra techs are pretty nice, and we do lose out on the AI Italians getting their base 10 construction. Also, I have a Iron Man unedited version of this run uploaded to speedrun.com that should be linked in the description. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Goodbye!